Hello and welcome to Watchin Baseball, episode
1989.
Episode 1989. The year Jake and I were born.
So we know everything about these
Yeah,
players.
now we're experts. This is a very interesting World Series. The earthquake took place in San Francisco, which is, wild that the 1 year an earthquake happens, which, they are bound to happen in that area. A lot of live there. It's the World Series is the two teams in the Bay Area, right there on that bay where the earthquake happens. It's insane. So the earthquake happened before Game 3. So they resume play, and they finish the World Series, and it's like somber, weird times. The A's just fucking crushed the Giants. They swept them in 4 games. There was never any dramatic moments or any moments where like you're on the edge of your seat. They just fucking crushed them. So it was really hard to find a moment. So we're just going to kind of scan through Game 4 a little, the final game.
Dave Stewart wins the MVP. He pitched a shutout in Game 1. They took a break. The earthquake was right before Game 3, and they pushed it back about 10 days while the city was recovering from the earthquake. And then here we are.
So a 10-day gap?
Yeah, well, so I think it's actually a 13-day gap between games, but it was 10 days from when the original Game 3 was about to start.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So everyone was fresh. So did he pitch again in Game?
Yeah, so Dave Stewart pitched Game 1 and Game 3. Won both.
Worked out for them.
For him. And the A's.
Crazy.
Redemption for the A's. They lost last year's World Series 4-1. Kirk Gibson. And then they came back and they were doing a bunch of steroids.
So we started this episode.
Heavy steroids.
This broadcast starts like really different. Jake and I were watching it and we're like, should we skip this? I'm like, no, let's just watch in case no one else has seen this, because they're trying to remind people like, hey, maybe we need baseball.
Sports are a good distraction.
One of its core baseball, the appeal of baseball is intimately wrapped up with one's youth. Baseball is very much about being young again in a harmless way. And one of its core appeals is to remind America of a time when it was young. You fly over a major city at night in the summer, and suddenly you'll see that green oasis that reminds everybody of baseball's basic mythology. We come from a rural, simpler America. What's home? Home is longing for when you are happy because you were younger.
Okay, well, I wanted to rip that apart for being corny after the first line, and then it totally hit me in all of my emotional places.
Yeah. Bart Giamatti is a wordsmith.
Everyone, every boy or everyone that likes baseball, when they fly and they land places, look down at the baseball fields.
Yeah.
That's like as American as it gets.
Very American.
You just count them and you look at them and you're like, damn, how many fucking baseball fields
wild.
are there? It's awesome.
You know, I'm not a words guy. Giamatti's got a couple quotes out there.
Last night, more than 60,000
Who's the other quote guy?
were in full throat
Sure.
at Candlestick Park as the World Series.
Who's the guy that's
after
always
a
quoted in
10-day
yearbooks?
delay
Gandhi.
because of the
No.
earthquake resumed.
That guy in backwards hat, look at that.
And when Game 3 got underway, it was the Oakland A's who took an early 2-0 lead. But then Matt Williams
There we go.
hit this
Matt
home
Williams.
run to make the score Oakland 2 and San Francisco 1 in this
Tight
second
shot.
inning. Then with the A's ahead 4-1, the Giants rallied for 2 in the bottom of the 4th on this Terry Kennedy single to make the score 4-3.
Production has gone up.
Following
Yeah,
that,
I mean,
a
we
very
went
key
almost
play
too
with
far.
Runners at first and second. This grounder by Pat Sheridan, speared
Look,
by
Mark McGwire.
who shoveled to Dave Stewart. And at the end of the 4th inning, the A's
That's the
still
Cardinals.
led
It's
by a
called
run.
safe.
Yeah.
For sure.
Then in the 5th, after 2 walks, Jose Canseco delivered this most damaging blow to the Giant hopes, a 3-run homer to make it 7-3.
Here you go. Hey, you guys wanted the World Series. We didn't know what to show you.
Yeah, we're seeing it.
Here you go.
This is an accident.
This is huge. Ricky Henderson.
The biggest night of all had by that man, Dave Henderson, who in the first inning hit this 2-run double.
Could have
off
been
the
Red
top of
Sox
the right
hero
field
Dave
fence.
Henderson.
Could have.
And who in the
I'm
fourth
glad he
inning
got his.
hit
Yeah.
this home run over the right
There you
Dave
go.
Henderson had a good time
And in
playing
the fifth
baseball.
inning, hit this one over the fence to dead center.
I need more Dave Henderson.
So he had a hop.
Yeah.
And a gap.
And a gap. Hop and a gap.
And with that much
Mixture
support,
of Sammy Sosa and Strahan.
It was easy for that man, Dave Stewart, to work 7 innings and pick up his second victory of the World Series. Tonight, the A's seek the title at Candlestick.
Going for the sweep.
Sweep. Okay. Okay. And the video has been demonetized.
Right.
The earthquake, because in the first 2 games of the World Series, they had dominated 5-0 and 5-1 at the Oakland Coliseum, and then last night they won it by a score of 13-7. So they are sitting very pretty right now, having to win just one of.
Have you ever seen just like highlights of fly balls at Candlestick? Like that's when we run out of World Series, that maybe someone put that on the list
That'll
for
be
us.
a vid.
I mean, just basic fly balls to the infield would just get blown into the outfield. What's Reggie Jackson doing?
It's around.
Trying to find the start of the game.
It's there, Ricky.
Control under 2 walks per inning, and that's the key to getting this guy out right here. So, matter of fact,
to lead off.
Pardon me, Al. As a matter of fact, Don Robinson has
That was
walked
beautiful.
only 1 in his last 32 innings of work, and that was an intentional.
We're good.
walk.
3 out of the last 4 have been nice, real grass, real dirt saves.
We'll get you through.
I think we're almost out.
In game 3.
I think you'd be surprised.
So here we go.
90s are
14
still
is
pretty
underway.
heavy.
The first pitch to Henderson is
Who's
outside.
pitching
The
for the
plate
Giants?
umpire is Dutch Rennert.
Dutch
And
Rennert's the
you'll know
home
that
plate umpire.
immediately. You can hear Dutch in Amsterdam.
Oh,
That's a nice play on words,
The 1-0
Jim.
pitch to Ricky Henderson. Missing outside.
Is this guy a major league
To give the
pitcher?
Giants digging themselves
Yes.
a hole as the Blue
did you see
Jays
the
did
pitches he just
throughout
threw
the
and
playoffs.
his general
And as
look?
the Giants
Don
have
Robinson, I
won the World
think.
Series by
I mean, it
walking
looks like
Henderson.
Don
Letting
Robinson.
him get on
looks like
somehow,
ask a
leading
dad
off.
to play. Yeah,
And
I
he's
mean,
a high fly ball to left field, and that one is carrying, and back goes Mitchell.
I don't know if you saw those 3 pitches, Jake, but they
You're being tough on Dom. He had a little bit of a belly, but I mean that had some pace on it.
I don't know.
Everybody. But
109 career wins.
Good for him. Is this the end of his career or the beginning?
This is towards the end. 15-year major league career. He's 32 years old.
That's not.
That sets a World Series record.
I wasn't
never
impressed
in
with
the
those 3
history
pitches.
of the
Neither was
World
Ricky.
Series.
No, Ricky was like, "This is what you're throwing."
And I think
okay.
what's important here, besides putting Don Robinson down, oh Jesus, lazy fly,
Yeah, he's just not throwing much.
lazy fly. He goes 1.1 in this game, by the way.
Yeah.
But the more important thing is the A's are dominating this series, and Ricky opens it up with a yard job.
Like an easy, like a pull.
Leave Don alone. Leave Don alone. He's a beautiful man.
Now Canseco will be the batter.
Now Canseco will be the batter.
Ricky with the flat top.
And Tim, you've seen games. You've played here for years.
Tim,
And what
you've
a
seen
difference it
games.
makes
Seen
When
games.
the flags are limp.
No, it's the bandbox. When there's no wind blowing, a bandbox.
Catcher can't even catch him.
7 home
Giants are
runs
putting
in
out an
last
awful
night's
display.
game, and
We're
Henderson,
5 pitches deep.
the first batter tonight with a home run. 9 home runs now by the Oakland Athletics.
From the whirlybird, Don.
Canseco, who is 3 for 10 in the World Series.
Pepper.
And that pitch outside. 2-0. There it is, and that's a most uncommon sight at Candlestick Park, except
The
in
wind
month of
velocity,
October.
0.
This has always been a great park for weather during the football season.
This is hard to watch.
3-0
Yanking it.
Don Robb is a great name.
Anderson leading off with a home run. That
Good
is
pitcher.
nothing new. He's done it 40 times.
Most
during the regular
different
season.
players hitting a home run.
Most different players
Okay.
hitting a home run, and there it is, graphically illustrated
Wow, that's cool.
for you. The A's, 8 different guys. Canseco takes
Dutch.
Whoa.
Dutch. Dutch.
Dutch.
Gonna need you to relax. Dutch.
Dutch.
What are you doing, Dutch?
3-2.
Great pitch by Robinson. Thank you.
Oh my God! Come on! Did you see that?
Yeah.
That was a sympathy. That was like we're giving sympathy strike calls in game 1 of the. Dutch just wanted to call strikes. He was bored. He didn't get to do his call.
I mean,
it's so far
the
off.
camera and the frames all get jacked up there. That's not a strike, but Canseco's also a jerk face, so.
Outside corner, says Dutch.
Look at that.
Ball's outside.
Well, very
That's
outside.
such a bad call.
Very outside. Look at the yacker from Don.
That was the first pitch that I was like, all right.
He's been setting up that curveball, dude.
It looks like he's got a 75 curveball and a 79 fastball.
Canseco with a lot of pace.
Canseco telling first base coach Dave McKay that was a curveball. That's the first curveball that Robinson's featured. There's David.
Setting it up.
First base coach says, oh, I don't care.
You're up.
Not interested. When you get to first, I'll do my job.
Canseco probably didn't say that either
No,
way,
he
Tim.
probably said that was fucking outside.
I'm not a big McCarver guy. I don't like his delivery.
He smothered the Twins broadcast.
After the game, there was a woman in her 60s who was yelling at him like a longshoreman. 3-2 the count.
The Giants had 13 days of rest,
Yeah.
and their starter was Don Robinson.
They used a lot of arms the game before. They gave up 13, so that could have changed things. Don Robinson this year,
What did he do in the CS?
32 starts with a 3.43 ERA. That curveball's unhittable, Jim. Will the thrill? You want to know what he did that playoffs? All right.
Yeah, show me his playoff game like. And we're going to skip to the bottom of the second one.
That year in the NLCS,
Over 90 miles per hour that he can come back and challenge the hitters. But what's set up?
he had one relief appearance, 1.2 innings, no earned runs.
Oh, so was he not a starter?
No, he was.
How many games did they play in the NLCS?
Let's see, Jim. I'll click on that now. They played 5.
And he didn't get a start.
Correct.
There's a story here somewhere.
I mean, they probably used their top 3 starters. He got the win in Game 3 of the NLCS. He was probably their 4th starter.
Yeah.
Leave Don alone. You have a problem right now. You're being a jerk for no reason. He had one bad fastball and a belly, and you turned on Don Rob.
Every pitch is brutal.
He just got out prime Jose Canseco.
But the pitches aren't impressive. Here he is.
I mean, you've been saying stuff about camera rate and all that kind of stuff. Don's been every other pitcher we've seen. Not the special guys, but he's a guy.
What's that pitch? It kind of darts down.
I think it's like a sinker.
Like a two-seamer fastball or something?
He pitched against Jim Palmer's Orioles in 19.
He's got no this-way movement. He's all this way.
Pitched against Jim Palmer in Game 2 and won in 1979. Kind of.
Dutch is a
I
weirdo.
went the first 8. I left with actually a tie ball game, and he came in, and Manny Sanguillen hit a single off Don Stanhouse to win it in the 10th inning.
Look at that right leg.
It's all braced up.
Been through war and back.
We may have won it 4 in a row.
You and Dutch would have had a bad time back in the day.
No, I would have. Yeah, I would have fucking I hate him.
Bunch of guys.
Shut up, Dutch.
3-1 pitch is wrapped fair down the left field line and
What was that
bouncing into the
camera?
corner, and Henderson
How'd they do
doing
that?
it again tonight.
Ricky.
A double and 2
Dave.
homers, and then he starts with
Dave.
a double in the second
Ricky
inning.
already went yard.
Ricky.
The Hendersons are tearing him up.
Yeah.
And 8 of his 9 hits now in postseason this year for extra bases.
I don't like Dutch at all.
The 2 damaging blows tonight. The home run by
I'm
Henderson.
having
The other
fun
hit
with
in the
Dutch
first inning
because
on
we're
a
seeing the
2-0 pitch.
highlights
That's
and
a
it's the World
3-1
Series.
pitch.
But, like,
Very much you can
imagine
look for
an
what you
August 5th
Ball on
regular
the inside
season
part
game
plate,
and
a
Dutch is
fastball.
back there.
Last night he hit the ball to straightaway,
My
center
God.
or right field. This time just yanks it over the bag. Again, if you're Oberkfeld, you're going to play him off the line, especially after seeing him go the other way 3 times last night.
Don Rob's always been better out of the stretch, too, from what I've seen.
Terry Steinbach, the batter, and the pitch outside, ball 1.
It's great. Harry Steinbach, most hits in this World Series.
Runs Don Robinson gives up, but talked about the great control. Remember, the knee problem is on that right leg. You see the brace. That's the one he pushes off.
That's not a knee problem. That's a body problem.
He has a brace on underneath the pants.
But it's not a knee brace. It's like I've been through war brace. It's from his penis to his ankle.
It's a whole new leg.
He's a warrior. I think.
Maybe that's part of the reason why his delivery looks like he's not really trying. Because it looks like he's not really pushing off.
His jersey's not helping. I think he's a sinker baller. Like he's just that chubby where the jersey really hurts you.
That's a nice thing. Throw it more. My brother's FaceTimed me twice.
It can go at any time. It's not something that necessarily feels any better as it loosens up and the game goes along. He said it can just go on any pitch.
See, he's not really
They ask him how you would feel.
He's playing hurt, coach.
That's what he looks like. He looks like an old man pitcher playing. He's not that old, though.
In the air to right center
Dude,
field,
everything is just getting smoked off his
Lazy
bat.
fly.
And the throw is cut off. It was offline, and Williams went over to cut it off. So Steinbach with a fly ball deep enough to Nixon to get Henderson over to third. With one out, Tony Phillips will be coming to the plate.
This is one of the reasons that Donnell Nixon
nice shot.
hasn't started in the first
nice
3
shot.
games because of his throwing
Job,
arm. Roger
I mean, they're
Craig
kind of
tells us
lucky
before
that
the
the
game
outfielder
that he
came
can
into view. I
actually
think it was just the
track him
tackle
down
shot.
than any of his right
Still
fielders.
good.
He just can't throw as
Broadcast,
well.
it's
Dave
kind of
taking
an
advantage
underlying
of the weak throwing arm
that-
of Donnell Nixon.
love him.
I'm a big Dave Henderson guy.
Yeah. I have enjoyed watching the production value increase.
Yeah.
And that's not something I thought
Don't let it come through.
It's really a
I started
catch-22
watching these for.
Roger Craig. He wants to help his pitching because that's been a problem. But when you play Oberkfell as third,
Tony.
Nixon and right, you're
Tony
hurting. But of course,
Phillips.
he saw the 5 home runs by Oakland last night. He wants to have a better offensive club. You can't win in both ways.
Now the
All right.
infield plays in with Tony Phillips at the plate and one out. And he hits a ground ball to the second baseman, Litton, who looks the runner back. And we get a very big
Everything's just been hit on the
and
screws.
that's a real big out, especially
2 lazy fly balls.
with no designated hitter. Now you've got a base open, 2 in fact. You've got Weiss at the plate, but you also have the pitcher on deck in Mike Moore, a man who has hit 1 time in his career.
And one of the beauties of this game is looking back, and if you were thinking squeeze with Henderson on third, the Oakland Athletics only attempted 3 squeezes this year, and
Weiss.
1 worked.
So what's up with Weiss?
That was during
So
the
we
regular
jumped to the
season.
second
In
inning.
the
Yeah.
postseason
I didn't
play
realize
against
that.
the Toronto Blue Jays,
Oh,
they did
I did a whole search and everything.
with
Oh.
Tony Phillips.
Where was I?
I don't know.
And they
You're
will
sitting
walk
right here.
Weiss
I searched on the bottom a little bit.
I must have been hunting through Don Robinson's numbers when you were ripping him to pieces.
And this
Yeah,
tonight
so
is a
they're
particular
walking the
situation.
8th hole hitter to get to the
Huge
pitcher.
difference between
Mike
these
Moore.
teams.
Walt Weiss.
Moore is coming up to hit for Oakland.
Now on the
He's
Braves
batted
staff, I
157
believe.
in his Major League career. His opposite number, Don Robinson, is probably the best hitting pitcher in baseball.
Got to do something to stick around.
Playing the wrong
With
position.
11 career home runs.
Don Robinson hit 11 career home runs.
Some monster.
1983.
Don
he
Robinson
over
reminds
300
me
with
of the
9
fat
home runs,
13-year-olds
35 RBIs playing
that you
right
just
field
throw
in the
out there at
Construction League.
DH and pitcher, even though he has no skill.
Big difference.
This Don Robinson was
Moore coming
the
up,
Hail
American
Mary.
League
That's a really cool
pitchers
view of
you
Candlestick
saw
Park.
It was
over
the last time we
last
saw
10
this
years.
was when the Red Sox pinch hit with Bob Montgomery.
That's a cool view, right?
Oh, yeah.
See that upper deck?
Upper deck's packed, Oakland. Fill the house. Fill the house.
This isn't Oakland. This is San Francisco.
Candlestick.
Yeah.
I'm just telling Oakland because they still have it. Fill the house.
Yeah.
And because Oral Hershiser's name was Man of the House. What was that?
Master
of the House.
Man of the House would be better.
That didn't age well. I wonder if that's still on his page, right?
I don't know. Maybe Scully just said it. All right, so here's the pitcher against pitcher. They walked Walt
Walt
Weiss
Weiss.
to get to Mike Minor, is that his name? Mike Moore.
Mike Moore.
Not quarterback pitcher Mike Minor. Woo, big cut.
Yep.
So, like, my problem here is if Don Robb thinks, okay, the pitcher's up, I can take a little off, he's in for a bad time.
I think he turned it up, and that just sped up his bat.
But you got to get there, and you need them to get you there.
There's 2.
0-2. See, now Mike.
This is going to be a pitcher's hit. He's going to be, like, laid on it. It's going to go down to the right side. I don't know. I could be wrong with that. Also, Oral Hershiser, better known as the Bulldog nowadays.
The thrown ball.
And it's hit in the air to center field, and
no.
Butler races back over his head. Henderson comes in.
I mean, nothing went the Giants' way. They got blown out.
End of the World Series.
The first batter of the game, it's a home run. And then they walk to get to the pitcher, and he ropes a double because you're pitching a guy.
Yeah. It's banged up.
He's banged up.
It's playing hurt.
Should he have caught that?
I don't think so.
I mean, it looked like it just kept going.
Yeah. And there's a little bit of a surprise. It's by the pitcher.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
I was thinking about my next at bat.
You're only seeing the last part of this play. Butler was frozen when Moore hit the ball, and consequently the ball goes over his head. Tell you what,
Come
he
on.
should be really wringing his hands in disgust because of 2 things. Number 1, Butler not catching. It also made a horrendous pitch up in Moore's eyes.
With a count 0-2.
Exactly. Dave Parker's saying, hey, he did it as well as I can.
Yeah.
Show the replay of him being frozen.
Yeah.
Done any better. The DH sitting tonight, and the pitcher delivers a double, and Henderson is a bouncer to third, and that is a foul ball.
Whoa.
Foul ball. 0-1 to count.
The umps just wanted a break from the action.
Yeah.
Like, wait, we got to get this replay, and that one was foul.
So Roger Craig.
Is he wearing a garbage bag under his jersey?
His team have the lead, muttering to himself. Down
Roger
3-0
Craig. I'm not familiar with him in baseball.
on a 2-run double by Moore. Henderson legging this one out just in case it had stayed fair.
Show the replay of the center fielder, you
it's over.
chumps.
Tell you, Jim, I know exactly what you're saying with Brett Butler's play in center field. We only saw the result, and the result of him missing the ball by a couple of inches.
You guys are
But the
controlling
reason
this.
He did that, he just froze, and that was properly called. He did not have a good jump on the ball, and that's why Moore is on second instead of the Giants batting right now.
Again, you can blame it a little bit on the weather. I'm not trying to make excuses, but this is so calm. The ball is carrying a lot better than it normally does here.
Have they mentioned at all that Don Robb is throwing 75 mile per hour
He's
batting
not throwing
practice?
75. We've seen that the different camera angles and the process rates make it. Don Robinson's throwing 88 with a hard late sink.
Yeah.
It's
oh,
a
yeah.
hard late sink.
He's fooling them.
Same size as Oakland.
Every out has been
Trouble hitting the ball
a
out. It's
screamer.
almost like a wind shear. The ball will get out there and just come straight down. It's not the case.
Does he hit in this game? Or do
I don't think so.
They take him out.
No,
before he
yeah,
gets
he's
it?
getting
But he's the
yanked.
best. He's the best hitting pitcher ever.
0-2 to Henderson.
See that's his best
Foul
pitch.
away.
He throws it like one every 20 pitches.
Sinker curveball.
Giants bullpen, and another spectacular shot of Baghdad by the Bay. San Francisco, Mike Lacoste, who is a possibility tomorrow night if the Giants
Bring
can
him
extend
in.
it to 5. But again, Roger Craig with no options here. Has to get Lacoste up as a long man in game 4.
You know what this was, Jake? What
Blue.
Henderson.
happened?
Needed a call for my guy.
You know what this was, Jake?
What was this, Jim?
You know how
3-0 Oakland.
when pitchers throw a perfect game, they always say, "I hated my bullpen. I've had nothing."
They have been tied once the score.
You know?
They were tied
No.
1-1
Like
in game
in the
2.
bullpen session, they thought, like David Cohn says,
Before the game.
Before the game, they hated
Yeah.
their bullpen session. They thought they had nothing.
Right.
Don Robb in his bullpen session was like, "Oh, that was bad." And the catcher was like, "Manager's like, catch. What's Don Robb have to say? Hey, he got nothing, but I think he's gonna figure it out on the mound." Never figured it out.
I'm going other way. I think he had a great bullpen.
Lights out.
I think he was pegging the corner. Roger,
Comes
go
the
get your
the
guy.
garbage bag.
Go yell at the center fielder. They should have been out of this inning.
Horrible too.
Don Robb should be hitting right now, and he could be a hero.
When he has that curveball and you have the pitcher 0-2, throw the curveball.
Yeah.
Is this manager wearing garbage bags?
I'm guessing that's like the San Francisco team jacket, and he wears it under the jersey, but it looks like garbage bags.
All right, let's skip.
Yeah.
So the weird thing
Lacoste has finished his warm-ups,
that we
and Carney
heard,
Lansford
Jake
is
read, is that they didn't
3-run
celebrate.
lead, and of course, the fifth hitter of the inning
What it
would
said
be
on the Wikipedia,
Ford.
excuse
You
me,
get to a sixth hitter
was they didn't
victory.
celebrate with champagne
So here we go in the bottom
because
of
they
the
didn't
ninth.
feel like it was appropriate. I'm assuming they still have like a little dog pile action.
It's a good bunt to the right side, and Phillips shovels, gets him.
It's a nice play.
Looks safe to me. Really nice play, though.
Fire with the presence to get back
And again, the
to
umps just
first
call it
base.
so quick.
Yeah.
Good bunt. The type you
Good,
normally beat
good
out.
Good bunt.
A good bunt.
Only other than the fact that Tony Phillips anticipates it.
Was he?
We already saw him go up the middle. You can see him pushing the base. McGuire goes back to the
He's
base,
out.
and Phillips, a former
He's out.
shortstop, anticipating that play, comes in and makes a snap throw.
One
and
out.
The second terrific play by
Here's Zach.
Phillips in this ballgame. And if you notice, Mark McGuire, in going back to first base, slipped and almost didn't make it.
Right at the end of that bunt, he gave it a
Whatever
little
that-
push.
whatever that is.
Power hitting, running,
Oh,
defense.
2 pitches,
Pitching
2 outs.
Fly ball to left field. Henderson
Get him, Mac. All right, at this point, the Giants,
They've been done.
let's get over it.
They've been done. Remember when every outfielder we saw was throwing it underarm?
And if they could both get on, you'd have Bart as the tying run.
Let's go Giants.
Who's the color guy? Someone in the comments will say it. He's just,
3 walks.
I think it's Palmer.
7 innings over the course of the
Jim
regular
Palmer's
season.
the former
You
player.
better swing the bat.
It's McCarver and
So Butler now.
Al Michaels.
The Giants down to their
well, which
final
one is
out.
just repeating nonsense? Like, he's doing, what's the guy from Parks and Rec? Hurd?
Purd.
Hurd. This is the news. I am Purd. I will be telling you the news. I have just told you the news. This was Purd.
Yeah.
That's what, I don't know who it is, if it's Palmer or McCarver. That's what they're doing.
Does he
Wow.
get there? Wow.
Wow.
That's pretty cool.
It's a great final out.
Couple boo birds.
Are they booing?
I think so.
You got swept.
San Fran.
But you got swept and, like, just go home, you know?
Russa.
Sad.
Sad times. Prototypical. You don't see the first base
I
party.
was just going to say, you don't see that area as the
That's-
celebrate area a lot.
That's fun.
Because, like, even I'm trying to rack my brain in 09 when the Yankees wanted to play it first, they all ran
Back to the pitcher.
back to the pitcher.
But the pitcher was covering first. You run to the pitcher.
Yeah.
And the deserved world champs.
Walt Weiss with hair.
Very
Wow.
appropriate play on which to end it. Excellent defensive play. They played excellent defensively the entire series. Home runs, speed, pitching, of course.
Wow.
And for the first time,
This was a nice play.
Yeah. This is a really
the
nice
World
play.
Championship goes to Oakland.
McGuire had
Threw it right to the bag.
You think the runner let up a little?
Third terrific
Let's
play
get this
of
over with.
ballgame, and
I think like in your last half step, when you see the throw's going to be there, you're not trying to collide.
Great fist bump.
Got to hug the ump there.
That fist bump doesn't get nearly enough love.
Yeah.
Stirring giant comeback at Candlestick Park comes up short.
Parker.
I mean, they celebrated. They just didn't pop champagne.
Yeah, I'm wondering if they didn't do like the in dugout in the clubhouse party or whatever. Big Mac. Okay.
Oakland wins it. The A's sweep it in 4 as they take care.
Was announced on the votes that were made.
Wow.
Obviously, a great deal of irony in that
Harry
one.
Thorne, your guy.
Because he, of course, that's sweet.
Definitely.
Oh.
Like I said, things happen for whatever reason they do, and I just try to do my job and make sure that my team has a chance to win ball games, and I feel real fortunate for this one.
Dave Stewart, the MVP of the 1989
What a contrast of
World Series,
voices.
and now over to the San Francisco locker room in
Things happen for whatever reason they were. Oh, the garbage man.
Roger Craig-led team, the Giants never quit. They came back
Joe
in
Morgan,
games
right?
3 and 4 after they got so far behind, but a little bit too late.
Well, you know, Joe, we battled hard all year. We came back from adversity, a lot of injuries and all. I'm really proud of my club. you know, the Oakland A's deserved to be
got
the
through
world
there
champions.
quick.
They were an outstanding ball club, and they just had a great year. And but so did we. We did battle hard, but they kind of outpitched us and outplayed us. But we can all hold our heads high here in a giant organization.
From my perspective, it seemed that you were not able to expose the Achilles heel of the Oakland A's, their bullpen, because of their starters pitching so well, Dave Stewart and Mike Moore.
Well, they're two outstanding pitchers, you know, and they had a 19-game winner and another 17-game winner didn't even pitch, so that tells you how strong they are in pitching. But you look at their club from top to bottom, 24 men, they've got a great ball club. They're going to be tough for the next few years. And but we had a great year. I just told my players,
when did it become 25?
Hold their heads high, and they can say that we were picked to finish 4th and 5th all year long, and before the
strike, I don't know.
You know, only one team out of 26 beat us.
Well, I know one thing about you. You're already thinking about next year and what you can do to improve the team to compete with the A's.
You got that right. You know, we've got to do some things. We got a couple of
You
holes.
didn't need a full bullpen.
We've got a good ball
This
club.
is so boring.
How good I feel.
Of the 19th show, and here's
The ballet score. Shout out.
In the Oakland A's locker room.
Sponsor.
Show, and here's the guy who kept the focus all season long. That was the key word. The skipper of the 1989 World Champion.
How old is he here?
Well, I
Looks
can't
great,
describe how
right?
good I
Yeah.
feel. It's such a
Nose looks like
performance
a
by
piece of
our players.
plastic
The
that
last
was
2 months of
sticking
the
onto his
season, the
face.
Toronto series, now
I mean,
against
I
the
guess
Giants.
what? If he's
A lot of
45
outstanding
here,
clubs, and
he'd
we
be
just kept coming
75
and
now.
coming. We have so many ways to win a game.
Math
and
kinda
most of
adds
that
up.
is just a question of our heart.
I didn't do it, but I think you're right.
And the organization just kept plugging in every time we needed
We're
something.
30 years old.
Tony, you said after last season that the key would be focus, and now, before it's even over, they already
It's with
start
the
talking
ballet
about
school.
just how good is this club in the long haul.
Well, I think at least for the last 2 years.
Gotta ask him,
last
right?
year we won a lot of ball games and then got beat by a fine Dodger club. This year we got that last little piece. And at least for the last 2 years, I think we've been a great club. And it's time to think about next year a little later.
All right, Tony La Russa, the winner. Al Michaels.
All right,
Gary
thank you,
Thorne's
Gary.
voice is insane.
Well, I mean, especially, I don't want to be rude to my man Dave Stewart here, but this was maybe the biggest contrast in voices I've ever seen.
Not been yours, and here you become the first pitcher to win 2 games in the post, the LCS series, and 2 in the World Series. That's sweet.
Definitely.
I mean,
like I said,
I'm not
things
being
happen
mean to
for
Dave
whatever
Stewart.
reason
They
do,
just
and,
have very different
I
voices.
just try to do my job and make sure that my team has a chance.
If
to
Gary
win ball
Thorne
games.
had his voice,
I feel
Gary
real
Thorne wouldn't have a
fortunate for this
job.
one.
Dave Stewart, the MVP of the 1980
I mean, that's not
World Series, and
mean.
now over
That's not
to the San
mean.
Francisco locker room in
You have to have a deep voice to have a broadcasting job.
Congrats to everyone. Congrats to Gary. Congrats to Dave. And
The
the
1989 World Series.
earthquake times. Scary.
It was really scary. We watched like a news report from them before this because we were going to do the earthquake, and then it was like, oh my God, this is too scary. So, watching baseball.